Good evening and welcome to the Town of Proctor Select Board meeting for June 22nd. If you'll all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First order of business is to review and approve the agenda. A motion would be in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. A motion would be in order to approve the June 8th Select Board meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Open public comment. Concert Wednesday,
Concert this Wednesday, yes.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and it's supposed to be nice out, so hopefully.
One nice day. And pool's open.
Pool is open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 till 6, weather permitting. I have a pool director, which I think I shared with you, and we just added another lifeguard as well. So now we have 2 lifeguards and a pool director, so.
So 3 lifeguards.
Yes,
Good stuff.
all is good.
How many days are we gonna be open?
Wednesday to
through
Saturday.
Yeah, that's what we're starting off. And
Yeah.
that was when we just had 2, just to kind of see. We do
Yeah.
have Tapestry coming, and we also have the Boys and Girls Club coming. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, different days, but a lot of kids. But they bring their own lifeguards as well as 16 counselors too, so.
So
They're pretty
where's
good.
that from? Because that's not from here.
The Boys and Girls Club is from West Rutland, I believe, and Tapestry from Rutland.
And they're coming every week?
Tapestry is only 3 days and 3 Thursdays in July,
Okay,
but the Boys and Girls Club plan to come every week,
okay,
off days.
all right. Okay, anything else? Nope. Everybody had an opportunity to review and sign the orders.
Yes.
I don't see anyone here for this. Traffic concerns throughout town. So in your packet, you have a printout for the last 6 months?
Yes, 6 months and the last month.
Yeah. So you can see on one side it's coming into town, the other side it's leaving town, about what the speeds are. Is there any way we can upload that to the website? Can you share it?
I could probably.
You
I could
screenshot it?
Yeah, or at least put the statistics. So the average basically of cars coming into town is, I believe 32 miles an hour, 34 miles an hour. Going out of town is 37 miles an hour. Hour.
Can I just ask where they take that last radar shot? Is that right at the 25-mile zones or speed limit sign by
think
South
it's
Street
like-
Extension or at the?
It's slightly before,
radar?
like when you see it stop at 27,
Okay.
I think it's right there
Yeah.
where it takes
Okay,
it.
and then when it's leaving, is it recording the first
Right past the sign.
shot?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, does that give you any times, you know, if the sheriff's department wanted to target a area that has a, you know, a lot
Time
of.
frame, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it does give you time. I mean, it's an extensive list, and it's got you know, graphs and everything that are possible. But I think it does give you times of when they fluctuate and stuff. And I would say the majority of probably when they're not on duty.
So that could be a good tool for them to see when they can target,
Right.
you know, an area to enforce the speeding. And I've got 2 copies. Did anybody not?
No,
get a
it's
copy?
two,
No, one is 6 months, one is 1 month.
yeah, you look at the
Oh.
dates on the top.
Yeah.
So
Look at the
it's two, or the dates, yeah, it's,
bottom, or the start.
then where it says
And then
down
the-
here in the brackets, it's January 1st to the 17th, and then May 17th to June
Okay,
17th.
yes, all right. Thank you.
So I just wanted to pull that because people were, you know, complaining that the town doesn't do anything about it and that the sheriff doesn't do anything about it. And, I mean, there's only so much we can do. If someone came with a great solution, I'm willing to listen. We have a speed sign, we're monitoring it constantly, the sheriff's there all the time. And I think you guys can vouch that the sheriffs pick up a lot. I mean, in the last 6 months, there's
Yeah.
been a lot of tickets given they're at Marcel's and LaFawn's all the time.
But the only thing is, Judy, you know, on the incoming, 98% are abiding by the speed limit, and,
Right.
you know, on the outgoing, there's 94%. Those are pretty good percentages for
Right. Oh,
complying with.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just those few, and there's always gonna be those, if we, you know,
Yeah, we only got 40 hours a week.
right, if we raise it to 40, they'll go 50 miles out of town, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's important if somehow we can put this up because, this was in response to a lot of chatter on social media, which is where chatter takes place and then doesn't come here to have conversation. But, I mean, the data doesn't lie and it's not data that we're, creating.
Right.
So, I think that's important because the, underlying conversation, I think, was that no one does anything, no one talks about anything. And actually, we probably have, more coverage with, the troopers and like that in town also, you notice.
Right.
Yeah.
That they're setting quite often at the Riverside or, you know, Marcel's, places like that. So, yeah, I mean, the other option is if, residents want to increase the contract. I don't even know if Rutland County Sheriff could cover more hours. It seems like they
No,
kind
they
of
go off shift
struggle.
after a certain time.
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms of total time and like that, I don't even know if they have enough people. There was a struggle there for a while
Right.
just to have, right? I mean, that's the other thing that people can, that's posted on the website or the link is there that you can look and see what they've done, how many hours, tickets, warnings, arrests. So that's another good place to look to see what's happening, so.
And this was raised last year too, I think you remember, and I invited them to come to the meeting and we would address it, and they said they were waiting to get more community members who had the same concerns, and that was March of 2025, and that was the last I heard, so.
Yeah, so, I'll try to, post these on our, other page, but if we could,
Yeah, I'll try
If
to
you
enhance them
can.
a little so that.
yeah, well, I don't know if I can do the outgoing because those are
Yeah,
pretty small,
yeah.
but, definitely, do the other, so.
So on one of the pages, I think it's a 6-month,
Yep,
on there it says 71 to 75, the last one.
yep,
Is that 6? Is that, to the right it says 6, is that
Yeah,
6 people actually did that?
yeah, and I think we probably
Yeah.
saw those in the last 6 months with tickets too, if you recall.
Right.
There's some,
Boy, right
been
there.
some hefty
Yeah,
fines.
Well, even 61 to 65 is 20, that's pretty fast for right there.
Yeah.
That's even fast for right
Yeah.
out on the highway.
oh, trust me, at like 2 a.m,
You can hear.
flying by. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes they go, like during the day, you feel like they're going back fast, and then they're not really, you know, it's just like the tractor trailer trucks
Yeah.
and stuff. But there's some where it's like, they're gassing it, and they're,
Yeah,
Yeah,
before I can pop up and look out, they're
going through.
yeah,
Right.
so, anyway, so there's the data, and anybody that's interested, you can contact Judy, she can provide, a hard copy of the data if you're interested. All right, anything else on that? Nope. All right, Dave Wolk, running for Rutland County Senator.
So, thanks for having me, although maybe you didn't know that Judy said I could come, so, thanks to Judy. I'm an independent, running for Rutland County Senate. I'm a native Rutlander. You can blame my friend Bob Abrahamson, who got the most signatures on my petition to run. So some of you might know Bob or Kirk, and they did most of that. So you can, he thinks he's my campaign manager. Bob does. If you know him, then you can understand why I would say that. So I'm here really with one purpose. I'm not going to give a speech or anything. I'm here to listen and learn. I served in the Senate 38 years ago for 4 years and learned a lot, but a lot has happened between then and now. And I know a little bit about education and a little bit about the judiciary. The last 3 years I served as an independent, as an assistant judge, and learned a lot about the judicial system. So I'm here, and by the way, listen to your traffic concerns. I spent last Wednesday 10 hours with Vermont State Police, and I was out on the road with troopers a good share of the time. And the other side of the new Route 3 is patrolled pretty regularly, because I sat in that cruiser as he was going up and down. Not this side so much, but the side towards Rutland is patrolled pretty regularly, among other places. So I learned all about that. So I'm reaching out to the select boards and school boards around the county because I want to know what you would do if you were elected to the Vermont Senate. And what I mean by that is that I need to have in my mind what folks would like to see in terms of changes to Vermont statute or practices in government that would have an effect on the town of Proctor, or even you personally. So basically, that's an open-ended question. What would you do if you were elected to the Senate? What would be the things you'd want to work on? I know that there are maybe 4, 5, 6 issues that are affecting everyone, and you can name them, and I can name them. But specifically, I'd like to know, if you were in the Senate, what laws would you like to see changed, or what practices would you like to see changed? And I will stop and listen.
Sure, I'll start.
Go ahead. I really right at that moment.
I think those that reside under the Golden Dome need to leave us alone locally, and we need to have more local control. The more you get involved, the worse things get for us. And I'll use Act 181 as an example. That was nothing but foolishness and nothing but a power grab, in my opinion. And I think that those that resided under the dome saw how irritated local Vermonters were with being told how we should manage and oversee our property. And the insult was that we're not smart enough to know how to manage and oversee our property. And so that's number one. And I think they have satisfied us by doing away with Tier 3 and that, which I have no doubt that in the sneaky, underhanded way, they're going to try to come back and manipulate it to try to gain some other kind of control. And they really have no basis for it. We have lots of property in the state of Vermont that is in conservation or in other types of easements that is being maintained in a respectful way. And quite honestly, I think the state of Vermont probably needs to look at the property that they hold and maybe take better care of that and learn forest management practices rather than telling the rest of us that manage forests how to do that. I think that the fact that when they look at the budget, the first thing they do is look at what you're going to raise in taxes to satisfy the budget rather than looking at what you can cut. I'm sure I'll get hay mail for this, and I really don't care. But the fact that we are funding a safe injection site is insulting to me. And that then we turn around and you tax us to, help set up substance abuse programs. Talk about the dog chasing their tail. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And then you give us money to teach, don't do drugs or all those kinds of things within the schools. The message couldn't be any muddier in this state. With respect to the schools, and I wasn't particularly happy with how you played out when you were on the committee for the schools with the maps and all of that. Honestly, I think that you just need to give it back to local control. When the state decided to take over health control, and that was gonna be the huge money saver, because we weren't smart enough at the local SUs to know how to, negotiate with our teachers, and so the state was gonna take it over, and we haven't saved any money. And that is the biggest hole now for us when we do negotiate, because you don't even have that as a negotiation tool, and the state took it away, and that just rises, and every time something falls one way or the other, it falls on us as the employers, not on the employees. And I don't believe that the merging and all of this is going to save us hundreds of thousands of dollars with the schools. I think what you're going to do is destroy towns like Proctor and other small communities that don't have a great deal. We have our schools, and people say, oh, if they take the school away and your town can't survive, then, you know, that's really the town's fault. Well, that's what we are in Vermont, right? Small little hamlets. Isn't that when you look back about how Vermont was created, how people went up to Montpelier, that in fact hamlet is one of the words that they used to describe small communities like ours at the beginning of time. And you know, you start closing these and sending our kids to larger schools, all you do is distance communities from those kinds of families and those, and I don't think that makes us better. I think that makes us worse. I don't think sending my kids, and it won't be my kids because my kids are grown and out of college, but sending our kids to Rutland or Mill River or Otter Valley is going to be a huge savings for our community. I think we're going to end up probably paying more because we have such a small population. The way it's set up now with the voting, if they want to increase, we're never going to be able to not vote and vote that down. They have, any of those communities have the block numbers to make us pay more. And we heard it before when Otter Valley couldn't wait to grab Proctor, that, you know, they want us because we're rich, we have a rich grand list. They said it at their board meetings multiple times. So those are things I think, to me, I think that when you sat up there, rather than trying to grab more control, maybe let us work the way it has worked for hundreds of years.
I want to respond, but I want to make sure you're done.
I'm done.
So, you know, I don't want to get into a debate with you. That's not why I'm here. I'm here for ideas on what laws can be changed. That's
Sure.
what I asked about. But I do want to respond on the maps because you challenged me on that. So this was the school redistricting task force that Lisa's talking about. We met last summer. I was the one appointee from the governor, and the legislative charge from Act 73 was this task force only had one job, or one task, and that was to come up with 1, 2, or 3 maps of how the state could be organized around schools to save money, all about efficiency, all about back office jobs, back office work kind of being consolidated, volume buying to save money, that sort of thing. So anyhow, the governor called me and asked me to be on it, and he said, look, the only thing that your task force needs to do is to come up with these maps. So I follow the law, and Scott Beck, who was is the Senate Minority Leader, Republican of Caledonia County, he and I came up with one map. We got voted down by everybody, especially the folks from Chittenden County. I was merely responding to the law, and the map that we came up with was to use the career tech ed centers that now have their own budget, their own busing, their own advisory board, as a way to start looking at redistricting. And it didn't mean any school was going to close. It left school organization to be voluntary within the districts there are now. But the key in that, so I feel good about the fact that we did our job. We didn't disrupt anything, but I followed the law. And actually, Scott and I were the only ones who did. and it preserves school choice where it presently exists and allowed the towns to continue, although there were business practices that would have been consolidated to save money, especially with the volume buying. So, you know, I don't mean to be defensive, I just want to explain to you why I did what I did, because I follow the law, so did Scott Beck, Senator Beck, I should say, and on Act 181, I wish I would have voted against it the first time. It is a power grab, and there's still part of it that's still in, you know.
I am aware,
The tier 1 and the road rule is out, but the rest of it's in. And I agree it probably will be revisited, and I'll vote against it for obvious reasons. Safe injection sites, agree with that. And I understand about the health insurance, and I really don't know after that happened years ago when it was all combined for in education. I don't really know if it did save money, and I really don't know if anyone studied that. So, and you were actually talking about that as a negotiating.
well, it used to be a negotiating tool.
Right. Yeah. It'd be interesting to know if it really did save money. So, anyhow, thank you.
Go, Albert?
I was just gonna say, you know, what Lisa was saying about less control. That's what we would like to see, is less control, in that we just completed or are in the final stages of doing a town reappraisal. And there was a bill not very long ago where the state was gonna take over and do the reappraisals. And that's one thing that I would not want to see, the state taking over the reappraisal process. You know, I'd rather see it stay on the local control.
Albert, do you know what that was, what that bill was?
I don't remember.
I don't know if it got off the wall, but it was every 2 years they wanted the state to take it over, and it would just move constantly, so, and that was supposed to be to keep us more consistent, but take it away from the towns, and that the states would take it over, so,
Did you do the town reappraisal?
yes,
Yes.
we're done.
Yeah.
Was it fair?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Right.
So, and it depends on if you're looking at how properties are selling, and people had the right to grieve, and they have right to go a step beyond that if they feel like they are aggrieved. So I think the majority of the people think that it was equitable.
But your point was it was better done locally than by some outside.
Well, it is done by an outside firm.
Statewide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, you're talking about new legislation. I'd like to see less legislation. And again, you mentioned at the beginning about, you know, 5 or 6 areas that we really do have concerns about, and we do. It's going to be roads and sidewalks and
Bridges.
bridges. You're right. You know, and rather than seeing more legislation, maybe address those areas where we can get more funding for those projects.
So I was
Yeah.
in another town last week that made the same point, and that the state grants for road sidewalks and culverts had declined over time. Is that true in Proctor?
Well, we only get grants for paving for Class 2 roads, and we're restricted as to the number of Class 2 roads that we have in town. You know, so we've got to do all the
Majority of our
streets.
roads are
Yeah.
class 2, and this has been a big complaint along with a lot of town managers when we all get together, is that, you know, funding is, the focus is always housing. The focus is always 1 or 2 agenda items, and
Yeah.
that's where it stays. And instead of looking at funding and giving it to the towns where they need it, instead of saying, well, if you had erosion from a storm, or if you need housing, we'll give you, you know, X amount of dollars. But if you need new sidewalks, new infrastructure, new water, new paving projects, it's not there. And so, and what I found when I apply for a lot of things is it stays way up north or way down south. And the middle of the state is often not, you know,
Have you-
shared such.
Have you advocated for that with anyone from Rutland County who's on the transportation committees?
No.
So, well, Butch used to be on transportation, wasn't he?
It
Wasn't-
was
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pittsford, our rep. for
Yeah.
Pittsford.
But she's
Yeah.
on judiciary now, so Butch would come and talk, and he was pretty good about,
Yes.
making sure, letting you know where projects are, things like that.
And I've reached out to Sanders up to Montpelier, you know, I said the same thing, and it kind of just falls on deaf ears, it
The
doesn't.
way it works is it goes through the transportation committees and then the appropriations committee afterwards. I just wondered if there was anyone on either one of those committees who was an advocate in the past.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Butch.
Butch
Butch
Shop
was the
was,
only one, yeah.
Yeah, and then he retired.
But what I don't know if anybody else was told this, but when they were up at the legislature, that things would go to committee and that the majority would go one way, so they would just vote with the majority instead of fighting for it. And to me, you're up there for a purpose, you're up there to fight for what people are asking for, and if you just put your hands up and say, okay, well, this is what, the majority wants, we'll go with it, then we'll never get anything passed that we want.
If I get elected, will you remind me of this?
Yeah, we do when the other ones decide to show up, we let them know. It's difficult to get them to show up, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really frustrating. I've been on the transportation committee, the regional one, and all the money, a good share of the money goes up north. Route 7 has been on the schedule for over 20 years, and we've still got another section to do. Route 22A is terrible. You can count on 2 or 3 accidents a week on 22A, and
fatalities.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fatalities.
yeah, it's really discouraging. We've got a railroad bridge out here that's over 100 years old. We got holes in the surface of the bed. They've welded the railings up here. We got a lot of school kids that walk. We don't have buses in town. And I hate to see, we've got a kindergarten up here, or a daycare with 50 kids right up here at the Union Church. And they're out walking and they got to deal with lousy sidewalks and crossing that bridge. I would hate to go up there and try to shake the railings up there, because I'm afraid I'd probably end up down at the bottom of the tracks.
So
And,
the state doesn't provide funding for that kind of project?
yeah, and,
It's Agency of Transportation.
yeah.
It depends on where you are on, they create a list.
Yeah.
We're
So-
on the list, we've been on the list for 15 years.
Yeah.
But where are you on the list? Are you number 44 or are you number 4?
I've sent them pictures and sent them
Yeah.
letters.
They've come out and looked, they don't get very alarmed about it, they should be.
No, and it's really frustrating, if they have to finally work on this, our whole town is separated. And it caused a great deal of inconvenience when we did the Marble Bridge. It's disgusting just on that. And all the money flows to Chittenden County. They've got the votes to control it, and when they had an opportunity years ago to get some nice roads on this side of the state, where did it go? On the other side of the state.
That I agree with 100%, and I was gonna bring that up. We have an interstate on the east side, but there's nothing, and I go to New Hampshire quite often, and it's like, these poor tractor trailers on Route 4, it's just.
There's nowhere to pass.
No, there isn't.
And nothing. To get some extra special health care, I go over to Dartmouth
Yeah.
quite often, and it's
Half an
it's
hour
disgusting.
trip is taking 2 hours,
Yeah, and,
And to all your points, it goes up north. Everything is Chittenden County or down south.
and most of those voters up there and reps in Montpelier are not Vermonters.
Right.
They people that have come in with all kinds of money, and they are the ones that are sitting up in Montpelier making us feel like nothing. We're going to save money with the schools and this and that. I don't believe we saved that much money for all the inconvenience, and we're gonna be into busing kids to other schools. I think this idea, they had a whole group studying this, and they couldn't come up with something, so they threw it back to the legislature. You know, it's frustrating. I've been at this job for a lot of years, and it's just so frustrating to see. I go to the Transportation Council meetings every month. Well, we can't talk about bridges. We're gonna talk about, special sidewalks and this and that. It doesn't go anywhere. No money flows down this side of the state.
And
I'm from Rutland, I get that.
And it's interesting the number of unfunded mandates that Montpelier comes
Yeah.
up with. Not even, I mean, particularly for schools, but even locally for things. And I guess I would be curious as you go around and ask people, what new laws that have come across that have been signed by the governor are benefiting the average Vermonter in their life, in the relief of your wallet, because I would be surprised if many could name something that is impacting their daily life in a positive or significant manner.
So I'd like to know what statutes that you would recommend that would have an impact on daily life.
Well, I think the constant charges at the DMV, increasing those, I mean, when you stop and think about how many of the new laws have financial impacts, I think that in and of itself says something. It's no different than when you negotiate with teachers. You're willing to listen and talk about everything, but there are things that you will give, and then there are things that cost. And the things that cost are the ones you really look at and think about, because that cost is going to be a trickle-down effect. And I don't always feel like those that are making those changes and having those fiscal impacts are thinking about what those trickle-down impacts are. And I realize that I'll use the word propaganda for lack of a better term right now, but that is what is being used for the merger of schools, that is going to be saving taxpayers' funds. I don't believe, as I sat here, that my taxes are going to go down if a school closes in this town.
So when I was there 38 years ago to address unfunded mandates, which was a big part of my life as a school principal, superintendent, et cetera, because this is nothing new, this has been going on for a long time. So I introduced a bill that required that a fiscal note would be attached to any bill that came out of the legislature. In other words, someone had a bright idea, passed, well, attached with that would have been a fiscal note so that the town proctor would know what it would cost. So the legislators representing Proctor would know what it cost. The bill never got out of committee. The reason, I actually won't speculate, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I probably listen to Senate Ed and the Senate on the floor way too much, because it impacts the other part of my life. And I find the discussions a little bit nauseating. I find the level of knowledge of the people making the changes lackluster. And I don't find people to be thinking about people like us, average Vermonters that are living in your town, working in your town, volunteering, supporting, trying to make all the people that volunteer in Proctor, from people running, youth soccer, to people, making Beaver Pond better and improving the trails, to people putting on events in the park, they are looking at these pie in the sky kinds of ideas about, even the climate change. I mean, you're gonna punish us, you're going to raise because I don't wanna drive an electric vehicle, because I don't want to put solar panels, I'm not a Vermonter. I am a Flatlander, but I have lived here for a very long time. And the irony that kills me today is that you all fought so hard not to have billboards, but you have thousands of acres of solar panels on farm-rich land that, when it is time for those to be removed, will be contaminated lands. And nobody wants to talk about that.
No.
That I did not talk about.
Yeah, it's disgusting to go up Route 7, all you see is solar panels.
Yep.
And,
And our power's going up.
Yeah.
Because we just got notification, I'm sure you did too if you live in Rutland, in your last GMP bill. So
yeah,
where's all this great power being sold to?
yeah.
So I think people,
Were you trying to get a word in? You said you had another idea. This is 10 minutes ago.
Well, I think Bruce may have brought it up, was the highway on the west side of the state.
Yeah,
But I strongly support what everybody has said here. But on the other hand, I want to thank you for coming and presenting your visit here the way you did. I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe anybody else from legislature has come in and said, okay, what do you want? What are your thoughts? They come in and they say, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do, this is, and they never ask for our feedback, never.
Well, I did this 38 years ago. You probably weren't sitting here 38 years ago. But I actually took the ideas and turned them into bills, one of which was the unfunded mandates that went nowhere. But I like to listen and learn. I don't think I have all the answers. I mean, my world has been, for the most part, education. And in the judiciary, I know a little bit about each, but there's a lot I don't know. I learned a lot. Jay, did you want to say something? I wanted to include you.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot has been said, and, I mean, I agree with most everything that's been said. Of course, Lisa made a good point that I talk to my wife too, all the time when you see these solar panels. And, to me, it's, I don't know where all this money's going. I don't know what the purpose of them is. I tell her, at some point, you're just gonna see landfills full
Yeah.
of these solar panels, because it's gonna be a fad that's just not working. Something's been improved in a different direction. There's a more efficient way of doing things. I don't know, it just seems like there's an awful lot going on.
Yeah. Do you think that there instead should be more of an investment in wind power?
No, I don't, anything, in my opinion, anything natural like that, of course, hydro, anything is good as you can do it in moderation without covering, the whole map and,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about hydroelectric dams too.
yeah, that's great. I mean, that's that's good. I'm all for that. It's not an eyesore, and you can't have, thousands of them going through one small area.
What about investments in offshore wind?
I don't know. I would say no. I don't think it's worth it. I haven't seen anything that would change me differently anyways, money-wise. Like, I don't see a decrease. I don't see where, any of this money's being donated to, the school system or the homeless or anything because of that. Maybe it is, but it's not being, announced. It's not being brought to anybody. The other thing I had, I guess I might as well throw it out there, is the inspections of vehicles, registrations of vehicles. It's, and I may not have all the information, but, like registering your vehicle once a year, what's the point? It's, you registered it once, how many times do they need to know you own this vehicle unless there's something else going on? They inform you if you were to sell it, and then maybe there's something different you could send in that I no longer own this vehicle, but why register the same thing? It's just, to me, it just seems a little ridiculous.
I thought that too, especially since the rates.
You know, and I know it's a money thing because, you know, that's a lot of money. You know, you're registering, everybody's got 2, 3 things they may be. The inspection part of it, I'm kinda on the fence. I'd like to see that maybe changed to every other year
I think it
possible.
was changed to every 2 years in this last session.
Okay, so
That's what I read.
if they go through with that, that's probably a positive. In my, you know, I know vehicles have to be safe and
Not registration, but inspection.
inspections, yes. The registration, you know, I never got it, you know, if, yeah, you register it, maybe even every 3 to 5 years or something, if you still have the same vehicle, just to confirm you're still running the same vehicle, I guess. I don't know. I figure when you purchase something, the registrations are gonna change. They don't want, unregistered vehicles hanging around, you know, I guess. So maybe every couple of years or something, just something different, but, you know, I know it's a money thing, but I think a lot's been said, you know, it's already.
So I just want to raise something that is just, that I learned this year, and you may not know anything about, you probably should know something about it, but I had no clue that, so I did my income taxes this year. I ended up owing to the state because I didn't pay enough in. I paid it, and then I got a letter like 3 months later saying you owe interest and penalties because you didn't pay us quarterly to cover that tax that you paid. And I said, I paid what was owed, and they said, but you owe interest and penalties because you should have been paying us quarterly to cover that, so when it came the end of the year, you didn't owe over $500 in state taxes.
Same thing happened to me at the federal level because I thought I was paying it off each quarter, but I wasn't. And then the differential was charged with the interest and penalty.
But that makes no sense. You at the end say I owed $600 to the state, I paid the $600. How can they penalize me when I'm paying what they say I owe and charge me interest on my money? So I'm supposed to pay them quarterly so they can get my interest, and then I have enough money at the end of the year to pay my taxes, but they keep all that interest.
Well, it's a good accountant doing all that, so most people wouldn't notice, wouldn't see that, and they'd pay it.
It's
good.
just, it's insane, and it's one of the things Vermont does, is they make it so difficult to live here. Because they nickel and dime you on everything that's what I hear from people. You can't survive here. I mean, we focus on the people who don't have housing and don't have jobs, but they don't focus on the people who've had a job for 30, 40 years, and how do they maintain their level of living because you're taxed on everything. And that's
Right,
frustrating.
and we've had people come to town here from other states because they know how easy it is to receive benefits within the state. We had
Yeah.
someone come from Texas, drive here. Their church helped them to come here so they could get benefits and live in the state of Vermont.
Running
Me-
schools for all these decades, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have kids that have graduated that want to stay in the area and they can't. And then the legislature turns around and says, what's wrong with the state? You're all a bunch of, it's all blue hairs when I look out here because all the kids are leaving.
Well, second whitest state after Maine in the whole country, lowest birth rate, and those taxes too.
So, but, I mean, it's
Well, wasn't that long
almost
ago?
like it's making it impossible to survive in this state. It feels like, and not even as a native Vermonter, but that Vermont is going through a cleansing of native Vermonters so that others can come in. And I do think you see that to a certain degree with representation and some of the bills that come across that are not true to what the average Vermonter wants. It'll be interesting to see if Act 181 has caused enough of a groundswell to flip seats.
Lisa, I think it has. In fact, I read in the, I think it was Vermont Daily Chronicle, that there were 15,000 Vermonters who woke up after that and were part of that movement. And in a state like that, that's pretty impactful.
Well, wasn't that long ago, 10, 12 years ago, maybe. They were doing some incentive to keep either Vermonters here or bring people to.
Bring them here.
Was it
Yeah.
bring them here?
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know whatever happened with that, whether it was worth it or not, and then it kind of just faded away.
Rutland was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But years ago, there was a movement to keep Vermont kids in Vermont. It was
Yes.
a big thing, we gotta keep Vermonters here.
Right,
And then
right.
it kinda went away, cause they thought, well, we'll let other people come in.
Right, yeah, and then it kind of faded away, so it was.
Yeah, well, Albert?
Yes, I was just gonna say, legislation won't correct the problem, but, you know, we just got a new fire truck for $400,000, and, you know, the price of vehicle equipment, that's a big issue every municipality is having.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think legislation can correct that, but maybe, you know, on the state level, when they're out purchasing equipment, maybe they can look to the towns and, you know, if you need a dump trucks are going for what, $120,000, $140,000? You know, maybe there's something that, you know, group purchasing is an option to ease some of the financial burden on municipalities.
Well, that's a good point, because you should have that option when you're doing volume purchasing to get in on a state plan. Is that possible for municipalities to band together when you're buying things?
There's some of it out there, but there's like auction sites too, and then there's also, right now with the municipalities, like sharing equipment during, you know, anytime there's an issue going on. Like if we don't have a loader and Pittsford has a loader, you know, having that communication and that agreement in place that we can utilize their equipment. But that's more in a crisis mode than it is a daily.
But the state doesn't have a program of volume purchasing for major purchases?
I don't know.
No,
I'm
it's,
not-
we have it for salt, we
For
can
salt,
do
but
salt
we
and
can
see.
get salt cheaper than they get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question. Allocating money for equipment like that would be very helpful.
I know.
Yeah.
I think the number one thing, if I could set in a seat, the first thing would be to look at the size of government and where could it be reduced. It seems like every session, every agency is growing, and we saw that, I mean, ironically, while the governor and Secretary of Education are telling us about, you know, making all these cuts and possibly closing schools and merging together, yet that agency's growing. And it seems like once you get in there, it's very difficult to get them out with state benefits and retirement.
I'm just laughing because when I was Commissioner of Education, the agency was much smaller than it is now, but we had 115,000 kids in Vermont in school, and now it's about 75 or 80,000. So there's a disconnect there.
But it grew this session. She received several key positions and improvements, as did other agencies.
Yeah.
And so that is a disconnect. It's difficult to listen to them tell us that the population is declining, or we had, you know, we were the number 2 state with people leaving the state, yet the government in all of these retrospects are growing, and, you know, you add 3 or 4 people to each agency, that's probably close to $500,000.
Yeah, I've seen that.
We had an incident, or several incidents, with our wastewater system and getting paperwork through the state. Somebody would leave, and you got somebody new in there, and we were asked again to supply paperwork to the new people, and we'd already submitted it to the state, and they were gonna go and walk them through the procedure and what we had sent them before. Oh, we don't have that. So it held up us getting reimbursed, and that's just crazy. It's
Yeah.
just disgusting. I realize people are gonna leave, but
But there needs
you
to be
get
a
somebody
paper trail.
new in there, and they have no idea what's going on. They're left in the dark. We can't get any industry in because we haven't got any roads that they can travel on.
Well, especially this side of the state.
It's really disgusting, this whole side of the state just is gone crazy because of everything that's happening in Chittenden County.
And I think that it's important to remember, if you should be fortunate enough to have a seat on the Senate, to come back to those communities regularly and have these kinds of conversations, because unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And I think that's disappointing in representation.
If you invite me, I'll come.
I don't.
Mondays are good days for legislators.
And I guess that's where I go back. I don't think I have to invite you, if you're my senator, to come to a public meeting. I think as a senator or representative, you should want to come. This is, any select board meeting, any school board meeting, any public forum like this is an opportunity to share, if you are a sitting senator, how you are representing us, how or why something has happened that perhaps people are upset about, what you see in the upcoming session. For me, just like as a select board member or a school board member, I think that's part of your responsibility, to be able to go back and talk to the people that have elected you. And I don't think I have to do that. I don't need to be invited to go to a public meeting, so.
I'm saying that if you have a problem, a specific problem.
Absolutely, understand that, understood.
And I'll let you know that in doing this, there are a whole lot of select boards that meet on the second and fourth Monday.
Yep,
And I'm out the second and fourth Monday of the month, June, July, August, September. There's so many of you meet on those particular days. One of the times I'm going to West Rutland and then Brandon, because that's the only way we can do it. I know you've got other business to do, and I see you, I'm kind of reading you, Lisa, that you've got to do that. But I also think that a lot of the problems you have seem insurmountable. So I'm just going to give you something that I've been passing out since 2009. It's a magnet. It's Castleton number 343 green, because I worked at Castleton at that time. I'm going to give you each a magnet to put on the refrigerator in your car. Give it to your wife because she needs it, because she lives with you.
Better give Jay two.
for both his wives.
I suggest that all the time, and they're not always
Thank
agreeable.
you.
Thanks.
Give one to Tom, too, because he thinks he's a comedian. So, one for you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming, we appreciate it.
Probably didn't know I was coming, so.
No, it's on the agenda.
I warned them ahead.
Yeah, yep.
This way.
You can go out either way,
All right,
whatever's
all
easier.
right.
Yep.
So we're gonna see you again when?
You invite me over here.
All right.
All right, thank
As
you.
long as there's no other select board meeting on the second and.
No?
Popular meeting dates, popular meeting
Your
dates.
contact info to us, so like if we wanted.
Oh, sure.
You could share it with Judy and
Yeah.
then she can share it
I'll
out.
also send you my website. My son is putting together a website,
Okay.
Okay, that would be great.
because I wouldn't know how to do it. So, all right,
All
thanks.
right, good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we've aired the ills of society.
Well, needed to be said.
Donation for the World War II monument in Main Street Park, Rutland, to honor war heroes. So I think there's a handout, they're seeking a donation.
I just wanted to share it with everybody, just to get your feedback on it, to see if you had any, thoughts or feelings towards it.
I mean, I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Is it just the one, or is that the two, or is that a choice?
No, that's
Is
the
it-
front and back.
Yeah,
Oh, is it, okay,
yeah, just one.
yeah.
Do you know what,
How many we have?
yeah, do you know what, like, the normal donation is to something like this?
I don't know. I would think it depends on
Oh, they want to have it in
the
place of
establishment.
November 11th of this year. So have they already,
purchased it?
No, have a collection of names from our community?
I do not know that.
Could they possibly fit all the names of the people?
I was gonna
that
say,
served?
I was gonna say, how many communities is it, I
No, just
wonder?
like the other ones in.
Generic, I don't think it would be,
Yeah, it must
Yeah, I
be
don't think it's
larger than
names.
this.
I don't think
Very
it's
large.
names.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it's not names, you don't think?
I don't believe so. I think it's just honoring World War II.
Yeah,
Oh, cause I thought it looked like here,
It looks like names.
they're
but-
putting
Well, that's what I was
names.
wondering about. I was thinking
No.
like Lisa said, the numbers, the sheer numbers of people that served in the area.
well, look
Well,
what
maybe
we
it's-
got on the
Right up
walls
there.
here.
I know,
You know, that was,
unless the
First
monument's
World War?
50 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
ask them.
yeah.
and there's
It just
some
seems like-
names missing.
Well, I mean, it just seems like on their depiction that it looks
It
like
does look
names.
that way.
So can
Wouldn't
you,
have room enough for every, you know, the whole, even Rutland and Proctor on there,
well, I
the
think this
list
is
of
probably the
names
whole
would be.
county.
said pictured above is the design which our committee has approved. I don't know, I would ask them and then we can,
Then we can vote.
can we put it on the agenda at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I would think they're just honoring the different services on one side.
Well, and that's
Yeah, yeah.
fine, but I mean,
Individual.
it just,
Whether there's 4 sides to it, it doesn't look like it, it's just front and back. Yeah,
Well,
All right.
there's a lot of names.
further information.
yeah. Okay, you also have in your packet from the lister, actually it was on the table, I think, the errors and omissions. Was that on the table?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So when they went through and, did the reappraisal, which is somewhat shocking to me since you were next to the creek, they didn't realize properties on Willow Street might be in the floodplain.
Yeah,
So the value, the assessment went down from
Yes.
that much?
So the number is what they appraised, and then once they realized, they were in the floodplain, because
Here's the
some
second
people
video.
that were there, some people who have property on Willow Street actually did grieve. And so,
Only because it's in a floodplain?
yeah,
yeah,
so I think your floodplain insurance now is actually based on the appraised value of your property. So that's how they, assess what your insurance in a floodplain should
So they're
be.
only bringing down the assessed value to reduce the insurance?
I don't think
No.
that's true, but I think if your property is in a floodplain, that it actually does have a reduced value. I mean,
yeah.
otherwise, why
Who's gonna
wouldn't
buy it?
every half-acre lot that has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths just be valued at the same amount, no matter where it was located
It's
in
like
town?
charging for the view.
Yeah,
You,
the view, charging for the view,
Well,
yeah.
what
Yeah,
they, what they did,
Right? Like your
Yeah.
house, yours is worth a lot more because of your view.
My view of the cul-de-sac? Oh, of Bruce's house? Because I have the view of Bruce's house? I was like the view of the
When they did the
cul-de-sac?
assessment, they didn't take into,
Consideration.
consideration the fact that they're in a floodplain.
Well, I
So
understand
they
that.
felt that they had, even though some grieved, some didn't, they felt that they had to readjust them all because of that.
Because that is a factor when you're looking at the,
So they reduced them.
so,
I don't know, I guess.
so the option to the board is, are you accepting the errors and admissions? Or actually, at this point, what they would consider errors. Because the grand list, obviously, it hasn't been lodged because these numbers have changed.
yeah, so,
I'll make the motion that we accept the report, errors and omission requested with the new values listed.
yeah,
Second.
yeah. Yeah,
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm not opposed.
You're not, you
I'm not opposed.
Okay.
I only wanted to question it.
Okay, I'm just checking. All right, a motion would be in order to move into the Board of Water Commissioners at 7 o'clock.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so you have, a list of the current, these aren't all the accounts that are delinquent. This is all that's left? This
This
is,
is pretty much, this was the last ones I shared with you that were gonna be shut off and that
Okay.
would come in. The other ones, it's, believe it's been reduced from the very last one, it was like 95,000.
yeah,
Now it's down to like 83,000.
okay,
So that's more than half of what it originally
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
at.
okay,
So, and I had some,
Down.
yeah, they're supposed to come in this week before the 1st.
okay,
That's what I highlighted in the yellow.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. But did this one pay both or just this one?
That one.
So they still have an outstanding one?
No, the other one had money put on it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
The very last one paid it all, but the check came back today.
the very, very last one?
Yeah.
Oh,
And the first one underneath the first yellow line,
Yeah,
you know, it says, paid under status.
Yeah.
And then update, paid 500.
Yeah.
And that paid 500 was on 6/4.
Yes.
When it says paid, does that mean it's paid in full now?
no,
No,
they paid
no.
500.
Paid
Yeah, they paid
500.
500 on 6/4.
Right.
So they
So
still
they have a
owe,
balance of 237
Yeah,
on
this
that.
was,
so they have an agreement that they've paid on.
They didn't do an agreement,
Oh.
they just came and paid on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
If they-
the status is, they have an agreement, they don't have an agreement, they've paid on their account, they need to be shut off, it's in foreclosure.
Right.
We
And the
sent a
update
pink-
was that if they're paid in full, I put paid in full.
because on the last report we got, last meeting, it said paid 500. And that was June 8th was that report. And status, it had no status.
What does that mean? No status on that?
On June 8th, you know, for that one, the status was, there was nothing there. And when I see this now, the status paid.
Right, I updated it because there's questions last time.
Okay, so there
that-
wasn't any additional money given
No.
from.
I just updated the status, because remember last time, people were like,
Yeah.
is it paid, is it not paid, are you paying, the status, is it
Okay,
closed,
yep.
is it shut off?
Okay.
So, the status is that they paid on it, but they only paid 500 on it.
So the one above the second yellow, that they received a pink slip, no
Yeah,
payment.
they were supposed to come in and make a payment as of last week when I talked to them, like last Thursday, they were coming in to put a payment on it,
Okay,
yeah.
so how are we ever fixing that if it's,
Yeah.
that's
under
where the
house.
curb stop is? Are we
Right,
putting a new curb stop in?
they would have to if they find it, if they can find it.
Well, wouldn't we
Well-
just have to cut the pipe and put a new
No,
curb?
it's not that easy. I have to have the guys come in. You
Okay.
can't just cut a pipe and put a curb stop in.
Well, you gotta go to the next shut off and,
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's, you
oh
know,
yeah, it's extra work, but,
If
you
it
know,
was
and
that
then
easy,
we've
it'd
got
be
a
awesome.
couple, up at the top that no curb stops, so.
Well, I guess then maybe we could have them come in, so, because what is going to be our plan? Where if the curb stop is a problem?
Yeah,
Because, I mean, the one that's almost $4,000,
yeah,
and we say we need to dig, cause there's not a curb stop.
they think there is a curb stop. It's not near the property, but they can't locate it. They're afraid if they shut it, it might be connected to someone else's on that street.
well. they
And
gotta
so,
find-
then what does digging do? They're gonna find and put a new curb stop in?
The purpose for digging was to find the curb stop.
Oh, okay. So did we dig or we still need?
They haven't dug yet.
Okay.
So can I ask a question here? Well, I guess, for example, on the third one down, if we got to a point, is there ever legal, do we ever get legal involvement? Like a letter of
For what?
sent for
I mean,
payment?
technically I could tax sale it
Right,
based on that.
but I don't know if, like we say, we're gonna.
I wouldn't get an attorney involved, no, to go collect it,
No.
no.
I mean, even to send a letter and say, look, this has
No.
been outstanding
That comes from me.
to a certain amount, no.
Does someone live in that property?
Yes.
Does he actually live there? He does? Okay. Okay. All right.
We just gotta do them.
So I think it would be, if at the next meeting, just to, solve our curiosity at the top, and we'll do it at the top of the meeting, just come in and tell us, like, okay, we'll take that one, the one above the second yellow.
Okay.
Like, what would be the procedure to do that? Is that something we can do? And if you were estimating what that cost would be, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Because does the cost, I mean, I think we have to look at what is the cost versus, what is owed, and how long. I mean, it seems to me there's a pattern. If people know that you can't shut them off,
Right,
Yeah, they're gonna,
they seem to really take that and run with it.
I know. I guess the cost would probably be more than what is owed.
Yeah,
but,
Once it's done, if we shut it off, we'll never get money anyway, probably. So it's kind of like putting a spending $5,000 putting a curb stop in isn't going to guarantee that you're gonna get water and sewer payments every year on time.
no, it just allows you the control,
Right, to shut it off. I mean, we have one that we shut off, it's been shut off forever.
and somebody lives in it. Yeah. Okay, I
With
don't
no water.
even. I don't even want.
Is there a lien on the
Yeah.
property? So we would
Is
get
there
the money.
what?
Is there a lien on the property? You just said there's one that's.
There's an automatic lien on the property when they
Yeah,
owe
you know,
water.
so the town will ultimately get the money and interest.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
I
somebody
just
will
think
come along.
if the concern is like one, you know, it's kind of like the one down on Gorham Bridge that went on for years and years and years. We
Yeah.
can't shut them off because we think they're tied in together. Well, then that's kind of our fault for not correcting that.
Yeah,
So I think like part of the maintenance of the lines are then that if we know that's an issue, then, you know, maybe the third one down, that's the one we focus on because it's so big. And you don't want to punish someone else if they are tied together.
right.
But it appears that that particular property is going to take advantage of the situation.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
you know, in another 2 weeks, all these numbers are gonna jump. So I just think it does, and I think it does you a disservice in trying to collect, because you're going through the same thing statutorily, knowing that there's really nothing we can do.
Right.
And so it's a little bit of, you know, trying to find the corner in a round room.
Right. Well, like that one, I could say I'm gonna tax sale your property.
Yeah, and then we'd have to deal with getting them out of the property and,
Once it's tax sale, then
yeah, you know, maybe somebody's gonna buy that property and it's gonna continue to be a concern.
yeah. I just think if they come in and just could tell us, you know, I'd say that one, the one above the yellow one, or the top 5, where you know that, there is a curb stop, but it's an issue about being able to turn it off, or the curb stop is hooked into something else. What is it gonna take to do that? Is that something we can do? And if you were estimating it, which they should be able to guesstimate how much it's gonna be, so then I think as the board, you can make insightful decisions about, does it make more sense just to read this every month, or does it make more sense to say we want to have these be projects? And maybe the cost to do it is gonna be so huge that the board says, well, there's a lien against the property, you're gonna get the money eventually, and so
Right.
you just set, but I think without having that other piece of information, you're not making an informed decision. At
But I
least,
think what I need to do is make it a priority list, because I
Yeah.
can't have my guy, I got 3 guys, and they got summer projects going on, they can't waste all 3 of them day after day putting in new curb stops where, you know, I mean, that's what I mean, it's time consuming, it's not like they go up there and dig a hole, put, you know, screw in a curb stop.
well, I
It's,
guess that's the other part of the equation. Then if we've got, let's say we have 10 we have to do. If you bid that out as one project, what would that look like? I
Right.
mean, you could bid it out
Right.
and see what it would be.
Oh, I know, I'm sure it's gonna be thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we gotta have a number.
But I mean, to constantly look at these numbers, for you to send out letters, to reach out, to try to deal with people that you know are never gonna come in. I mean, have you ever had contact with that person? The third one?
I haven't, I'm not certain if they have.
I mean, and I do think in a certain, you set it up even, you set yourself up even if the property sells and you get paid, that the next person in there could behave the same way, because,
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen some big numbers, and ironically, they all do seem to all be attached to people
Right.
that they know we can't shut
Yeah.
them off. I mean,
I know.
maybe I'll fix mine, he can't shut me off.
Right.
yeah.
So, all right, I just think that would be interesting, you know. They should know, or you should be able to know the ones, and they should be able to say, okay, it's gonna take, you know, whatever to do
Yeah, I mean,
it.
they're not gonna give you an estimate unless they know where the curb stop is. If the curb stop's like right there and they dig and they find it, but if the curb stop's down the street or under their foundation, you know, then you've got a different cost, so they can give you a variance.
Well, yeah, but that's gonna be the question, because if it is underneath someone's house, we're not gonna dig it up under their house.
Right,
No.
So we're gonna have to know, what is it gonna cost to put a curb
one
stop
out,
in?
Right.
as, You know.
Yeah.
well, just like up here, I mean, it's costing us $93,000.
That might
No,
be,
that's no different, we have to put a new curb stop in, 2 curb stop, we have to put a new curb stop in and cap off the other one, so.
yeah, but we're not gonna put new sidewalks in for everybody that we're doing and all the other stuff.
Oh, that sidewalk wasn't part of that project, that sidewalk I did because of you guys, because you guys wanted that light working. That's what I was told.
And there's no
I
guarantee
thought we
that
were gonna
anybody
get a
else
price.
would have to be shut off.
I thought we were gonna get a price for it.
Yeah,
No, I didn't even know about it. The board never shared it with me that you guys wanted that light working and part of that project. I was told by John Corliss that it was brought up to him, can it be part of the project? I wasn't at that meeting, so it
No,
wasn't
and we
shared
talked,
with me.
and we talked about that at the next meeting, we said, did Corliss come in and talk to you about that? And Bruce
Right.
talked about it, and you said no, but we're gonna meet later in the week.
Right, and I asked him about it, and I said it wasn't gonna be part of their project. Because Brad DeFosso is the one that did the work, so why would I bring them in to do something that they knew nothing about? So
Well-
Brad DeFosso did this whole line up here,
Yeah,
and they didn't do that one light because they didn't wanna spend the money on it. Yet they installed a brand new light and never connected it. So
yeah.
over time, the
Conduit.
conduit crushed and stuff, and the line broke. So he dug part way, and he's like, okay, we found the line at the other end, they're broken, what do you want us to do? And I said, just dig it up and put it in. Cause the ultimate was, you want the light to work, we'll make it work. So,
Well.
and he knew all about it, cause he did the whole project before that, whereas the other people didn't have anything.
It's all completed now, right?
Yeah,
No,
No?
it's done,
what?
the
the
light,
light,
The light is done, the conduit is in the,
yeah, he's done now.
it was dug up earlier, last
Last week he
week.
did it, he finished it last Thursday.
Yeah,
didn't notice it in the pavement.
Wasn't it the end of that?
We have to pave it, yeah.
Monkey got choked.
yeah, there's no sidewalks or
Something
anything.
like that.
Anyway, I mean, you gotta spend money to make money, right? Isn't that what we just
Yeah.
learned through
I agree.
So
legislative
I said, I
discussion?
go, if the lights, it's no point having a light there and not working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's like a dead spot there too.
Right, And maybe people will see the yield sign better if it does a light one.
Yeah, right.
All right, okay. Set water rates.
I was just gonna
Oh,
ask.
sorry.
Lisa, Judy, if, because the top, when I look at the top 11 in last month's report, that's still 65,000. Some of those are up for tax sale, some of those, or could be up for tax sale. Some of those big ones could be, repossessed, and some are vacant. Could we possibly have those top 10 in next meeting listed and what their status is as far as,
The top ones are probably tax sale,
okay.
yeah.
And so we're in the process of getting the tax sales together. Downstairs they are.
But could we possibly see a
Letters.
list of just the top 10 largest delinquent accounts and what their status is? Because I try and look, and see which ones are on this list, and I go back and forth a lot to see which ones are on, the printout with all this up-to-date status.
Okay.
And then I go back to, the big report and just look at it to see, oh, that one's not there, but that's because it's gonna be possibly a tax sale.
Right.
That's not there because, there was foreclosed, that one's, not there because it's, vacant.
Okay, so I'll do the top 10 and then I'll just put what they're set, like if they're foreclosed,
Yeah,
being
that
tax
would be
sale,
a
or
big
an
help,
agreement.
because,
Yeah,
that
for their
doesn't change
status.
from month to month,
Yeah.
and then when we look at this report that you give out of the,
I
Yeah,
think you could just do what's due and what their status is.
yeah. And,
Yes.
there's at least probably 2 or 3 in that list that are supposed to be tax sale.
yeah, and if you could
Letters have
list
gone out,
those,
some
because,
have come back, letters have gone
Yeah.
out again, there's no movement, nothing else has been done.
because
So-
if you said our delinquent account is, 75, 80,000, and 65 are in those top 10, well, we're not in that bad position. then.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
If there's only
right,
20,000.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work for the 60. Okay, set water rates. So you have a schedule. And, before we set the rates, I think it would behoove us to make a motion to set all equivalent users at a minimum of 1. So that no matter what
Yeah.
your facility is, you're at a 1. You could be more based on the use of the facility, but no one should be below a 1. If every residence is at a 1, every business should be at a minimum of
So are you
1.
making a motion for that?
I'd like a motion to set all commercial equivalent users at a minimum of 1 EU.
Motion so moved.
Second. Yeah.
Any discussion?
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jackie, you start first.
Okay. The .3, the .7, .4,
Yeah.
what determines that other than if we went with a straight .5?
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's not based, of years of these calculations, don't
Yeah,
ask me, the way they do
employees
these
maybe.
things is barbaric and,
Yeah.
Well, I just
that's-
wondered if they make it easier.
There was a
just to go-
formula, yes.
Yeah, there
If
was,
you look
but-
up, I could show you,
It should be a
the old
1 or 2.
tables that they use.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you would do a calculation and it may come up,
Yeah.
2.7.
Yeah, I was only curious,
Huge,
only to
but-
go with Lisa's
Who did
motion to
these?
go with minimum of
where
1.
is this is from you guys last year.
Yeah,
Well, we didn't change the calculations.
no.
No, you added more to it last year, when we
Yeah.
started working on water. policy.
Yeah, we added
So that won't change,
ones
yeah.
that weren't listed
But
on
she's just
there.
saying everybody should be at least a 1.
No, I agree, and I only asked only to ride on that motion to, move it to .5 instead of the .3, .7, but if there's a formula dictating what that is, that won't change, so I'll just reverse that request.
I actually just registered for a seminar through the state in September for setting rates on water and sewer.
So
and
next year you'll
financing.
you'll have
Yeah, so
better,
hopefully they'll explain it,
Yeah.
because this is, you can't find anything in there that really, there's spreadsheets galore that you're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the ones that are like a point, something like that, those fluctuate. I mean, because there's no way,
Like 4.75, why can't it be 5? 5.8, 6.
Well, it should be, but I don't know if that's what that
Well,
formula is.
the formula's there, and that's what was used to come up with these numbers.
yeah, but the formula was used when
Yeah.
populations in facilities were very different
When the
also.
ARC
Yeah.
came into
They were
town.
pulling
Yeah.
buckets out of wells. to-
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any real formula. Yes, Albert?
I was gonna ask, because the motion was for the
For all commercial,
the commercial, yes, and industrial, and.
yeah.
Should it also include residential, just so?
All residentials are one EU.
But just the motion, just so nobody can say, well, you're targeting,
That's
these.
the current, that's current. Currently, all residential EUs are
One.
one.
Okay, but it also, okay,
Says that.
okay.
Right at the
Yeah,
top.
okay, yes, okay.
Any other discussion?
So the rates have not changed for 3 years.
Well, wait, can we do this? All in favor?
Okay, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Now we get it covered.
Motion passes unanimous. Okay, on to the rates. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay,
So the rates haven't changed for the last 3 years in water or sewer. Last time they changed was 2022 to 2023, into the new year. So it was 475 sewer, 525 water, and then it jumped in 2023, 2024, up to 530 the sewer. And then the water jumped up to 445, and that's where it stayed since then.
so say it again, sewer was 530 and water was,
545, but that's the way it's been for the last 3 years.
okay, so since 2023, 24, those
Yeah,
are the rates.
Yeah, is it-
Yep, okay. And so then do you have a recommendation for water based on,
Well, looking at all the bond payments that both of them have a reserve. The water definitely has, we have a good sized reserve.
Yep.
That I don't see raising it. I wouldn't wanna raise the sewer because the bond's not gonna be a payment for at least, 2028,
Yeah.
2029.
well, till you, it's usually
Yeah,
not
year
until a
after
full
it's
year
finished.
after
Yeah,
you've
so-
completed.
Yeah,
So keep them at these rates?
I guess I'm only concerned with taxes and if,
Are you looking to lower them?
no,
No.
Okay, then keeping them the same.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think being able to say you've been at the same rate for 4 years
It's good.
is
Really something.
pretty impressive.
I mean, I did some research on other towns. Another town is $13.95 for just water a year, just water.
For a
Is that
residential?
metered? Is that a metered rate?
That's flat rate for them all, $13.95
Is that a nearby community?
up north,
Oh,
So is
That's
that
just
water
water.
or sewer?
just water.
Water, yeah.
Sewer is, I think, $250 a quarter, plus when they pay late, they have an 8% penalty.
But is that based on a supply and demand kind of thing? Is it-
The population's greater.
I'm sure, right? Okay. Well, I agree
Still,
with
I'm just trying to say out there, when people complain, ours is $1,075 for both, and here they're paying, $1,300 just for water.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'd
agree with
say
what you were saying,
let's hold it.
with the assessment going on, the sewer plant going on and all that, the less we do is probably better right at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
and we have the ability then to harvest in Chittenden too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The water's doing better than
Sewer,
than the sewer is. The sewer's lower, but they're still,
yeah,
Yeah,
if we get reimbursed, we'll have some money.
yeah.
yeah.
So a motion would be in order to keep the water at the current rate of $5.45.
So, second,
Right, that's right, $5.45 for the year.
Yes.
yeah.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Anything else for water? Hearing none, a motion would be in order to move into the Board of Sewer Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously, so the delinquent sewer accounts coincide with the delinquent water accounts. We probably don't need to go over that.
No,
And the bid on wastewater treatment facility construction.
So you guys questioned that the last time when we met because of those 2 boxes that weren't checked.
yeah,
The state approved it, everything was good, they just missed it. Everything's good, their bid's good, the state
Good.
approved it, the engineers approved it. So I have 2 letters to send to the state.
Oh, yeah, here they are.
Accepting the contract and accepting them and the list of,
Are they all the same?
there should be 2, 1 of each. But yeah, they're all the same because I did front and back.
Okay, so they're for you to look at, you take one.
And then just, I'm
Pass.
asking for a motion to let me sign it.
Make a motion, Judy, to sign it.
Well, let's let everybody get it first.
yeah, before
I'm not reading fast enough.
we read it. Both sides.
Is there 3 of them?
Well, I said that based on what Judy said.
Oh, well, let's take one, pass it on, okay.
You can read it to me later.
He's holding them all.
Oh.
Yeah. Did we have a start date on this? I forgot.
They're getting together to do a pre-construction meeting, hopefully in the next couple weeks. And once we have the pre-construction meeting, then they'll know about starting.
All right, any concerns about the letters?
No?
There's a motion on the floor to authorize Judy to sign the letters.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, sewer rate. So the sewer rate was $5.30. And so the recommendation is to keep the sewer rate at the same amount as it has been since 2024.
Second? So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Actually, 2023, 2024.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I just have to write it out, I'll forget by tomorrow. Sorry. Any other business? I know my brain will be like, oh. All right, a motion would be in order to exit the Board of Sewer Commissioners
So moved.
Second?
and enter the regular select board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. So sheriff's report, we already talked about sheriff's a little bit, but it's a pretty substantial report.
Yeah. That's 1,800.
Severe thunderstorms.
I know, I saw
right?
that was funny.
Yeah.
Now they're weathermen?
Yeah.
Although it made me remember when the storm came, so it's like, oh yeah, that was that.
Like, okay. I just think it's funny, it's like a huge font.
They have been, I think, kicking people out of Beaver Pond too, so,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah.
When do we get the money from the state, from these fines? I've forgotten. When-
We've gotten some already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if they send it quarterly downstairs, that Celia gets it, yeah.
does that mean? Property watch at Riverside Cemetery, Albert, what happened?
No, they just, by the flagpole, they just sit right there and, shoot the
Oh.
cars coming out of
It says
Proctor.
it's a case number, so I thought maybe something happened there.
Yeah, exactly,
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh,
Albert's the last to know.
yeah.
okay.
I didn't read that. What page are you on there, Lisa?
They don't have page numbers.
I got,
It's like, 1, 2, 3, the back of the third one where it says.
What date?
6/6, isn't that what it says?
how about a
Property
number
watch.
66025 or 66031 or 66034? In front of the officer's name.
66042.
Property watch.
Says mobile and stationary at Route 3, South Street, case 2884, property watch at Riverside Cemetery.
Yeah,
It seems like it's all connected together. That's why I wondered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird too, that door-to-door sales. PR area. Did you see that?
No, what was that?
Dispatch receive information about door-to-door sales in PR area, so then the patrol was
What does
PR.
PR area mean?
That's what I don't know. PR.
Patrol to PR, what does that mean? Proctor?
It might have something to do with that Fox company that was going around.
What was it?
Van, they had a van,
Ah.
with Fox on it, and the guy had a, oh, of course, you put your foot on it and you push, to get around, he was going door to door to sell, stuff to kill mice.
Oh, pest control?
Yeah, like a pest
Oh, they
control.
never, they never made it up to our neighborhood, or not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I
Oh,
can
is that the
think
one in Pittsford they were complaining about?
He could have been at Riverside watching another property.
Oh, I guess.
yeah.
Hard to see
You
much
know?
from Riverside, but sure.
Hopefully he wasn't watching my house.
You see it through the trees.
Oh, but they used the dog for,
Yeah,
Not accident.
God, I guess. I know, when I picked it up, I was like, it's like a pamphlet tonight.
Makes a
Okay.
bigger font.
Oh, that's what it was? Well, that's probably better,
Yeah.
easier to read. All right, managers report.
So the lamp posts I ordered for the park, they're in, so the guys will be picking them up this week. Met with Rick Reed, John Corliss, Earl Simpson, Public Works, and myself to go with the Proctor Place project. Should begin work the middle or end of July, because they're doing a project in Pittsburgh right now. Pool open Wednesday the 17th. The weather wasn't too cooperative this weekend, rain
Yeah.
off and on. And then I explained about LaFaso Electric
Yep.
doing the work up there, so now I gotta get somebody, he said he could come back and pave it, but I might reach out to who's ever gonna bid too for our paving projects to see if we can link it in.
Yep.
Sending several, I put sent, I didn't do it. Sending several letters out regarding ordinance violations, most are related to lawn care and a few others for garbage and debris. I'm getting like anonymous letters telling me that people have, are breaking ordinances because of their properties. So I take a ride around town, check the houses out, see what they're, and most of the ones that they listed, I've already sent letters to in the past,
Gotcha.
so.
It's hard to mow right now. I mean, you gotta mow quick.
I know.
yeah.
And
In
then it grows
between
the
the
next day.
storms.
Yeah.
Tedesco was gonna look at the Marble Bridge for quote on repairing, I haven't heard back since then.
Okay.
The consumer reports I picked up this morning and I mailed them out today. Loggers will have their equipment at the landing by the end of the week, at the Florence site, and setting up the conditional use permit with Velco as well.
Okay. And so then they're gonna lodge the grand list by July 1, right?
Well, depending if they have the, Celia can't do anything until she gets the stuff from the state.
Oh,
Paperwork from
Yeah.
the state, and then, if there's, people who've complained about their decisions to go to
The
the Board of Civil
grievance?
Authority, yeah.
And
They'll
so-
have to be scheduled.
how long do they have to grieve the grievance?
I don't know, that's a Lisa question.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's all through them.
okay.
And I wanna say, I feel like 15 days, but that's a long time.
Well, yeah, so aren't you at about 15 days then? Because,
It was just last week.
oh, they
Yeah.
just finished last week?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, she mailed them out that Saturday, a week ago, this Saturday. She
oh,
mailed them out.
okay.
And so far that I know of, that I'm aware of, we've just gotten one report.
Okay, it might be nice if you could email her and ask her so we could have if we know that we have to do it and we have one or whatever, we could at least pick the date when people are gonna be available.
Right,
So we don't have to wait and see how many come in. We know we have one, we have to do it. We could set the date and be ready to go with that.
Right.
Because the longer we wait, the longer it takes to lodge, the longer it takes to
Yep.
set the
Yeah.
tax rate, and
I
then
know,
they've got to scurry around downstairs to
print.
get everything out.
yeah.
Or you have to change dates and stuff, so. Yeah, so if we could just find out the date,
Okay.
or the earliest date that we could hold the, Board of Civil Authority for a
Okay.
grievance. What is that, water that's making that noise?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions about, Judy's report?
no, no. I haven't had a chance to call downstairs. Shirley Capon on West Proctor Road was telling me that she never got a appraisal.
Yeah, a lot of
Thing
people
in the
said
mail.
that,
Yeah, I don't know, it's all the assessors.
yeah.
We didn't get a lot back, we didn't get, like, we got a lot back because they sent one to every, like, Riverside Cemetery got one.
Yeah, we got
Pump
one, we got one.
Pump stations got
The
one.
forest got one.
Right, but a lot of people, I don't believe, came back in their physical, like,
Yeah,
I don't know, I had 4 people come in and say, 3 that didn't get it at all, and 1 said they got theirs after the grievances had already started.
okay,
yeah.
So,
that's kind of stormy.
I don't know, and the people that said it, I was like, yeah, I mean, they don't,
Right,
so.
I don't know, I mean, we had. a
They weren't
staff-
grieving anyway, so, you
Right.
know, it didn't, so
Yeah.
there's no advantage to them saying things like
Yeah.
that, but.
But the thing is, the person can grieve every year. You know,
No,
they
no, no, I
yeah,
understand
yeah,
that.
they
They
can.
were just saying like, you know, it was like on their street, it was really odd the way stuff came, so. And it was, like, just as a disconnect, like, I got the stuff, let's say for the library, and then we didn't get it for our house for like 3 days.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, it's weird. I got mine like before other people on, like, the sides of town got them different, like 3 days later
Yeah.
than others.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah,
but I don't think, I worry, I don't know if if it happened, but a lot of people who don't live here, if if it went to the property and not to the owner, do you know what I mean?
oh, yeah,
Because they live out of state.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that would be an interesting question for the lister, so. All right, any other old or new business that we need to put on, think about?
I just want to mention the mosquitoes and bugs seem to be in our area very minimal, so I don't know if they sprayed.
I don't believe so. They have,
No, they have not.
They
The
said they
last-
tested it, and it's not, the numbers aren't high enough.
Yeah,
they've tested.
Which is good, I'm not complaining, it's, we
Yeah.
haven't seen any mosquitoes to say
Any
of.
more black flies and
Yeah.
Black flies, I
Oh,
think.
they're in those little
They,
hovering things?
the last test that Albert and I heard, and Tom, they had, what, 25, and we have to have 41 before we could spray of female mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, of the 17 routes they spray in the 6 towns, they've only
Yeah.
had to spray 2 so far, and they were in Brandon.
Yeah.
It's weird,
and
'cause
ours-
you think since it's so wet, it would
Cold,
be
cold,
worse.
yeah.
yeah. I didn't, I have
Yeah,
not,
so
that's
they
great.
hadn't sprayed as of last
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's good.
And Judy, did you get the notice when they sent it for the Brandon one?
No,
Yeah, okay.
I got it only when they talked about the testing. You know, just a random let saying that, you know, this is what the stats were and stuff, but I don't believe I got anything specifically for Brandon.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten an email from them for a while.
Yeah.
So I get the agendas.
Because, you know, they mentioned in the report, the email that we got, that they were expecting this check by the end of the month, so I guess they're gonna get it by the end of the month.
That's when you're like,
18,175.
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah. Well,
So they should be building a surplus when you bring their budget back, if they're not expending it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, not spending.
Yeah.
There.
we had
Yeah, no,
a lot of new people and,
Yeah, but you're not running the trucks, so,
no, that's
Yeah,
right.
but
There is savings
the-
on that end of it, yes.
yeah,
But the problem is trying to get the applicators, the people that can spray, they have to be licensed, and of course, you know, it's only a part-time job.
Yeah.
You know, they're usually full-time employees
Yeah.
somewhere else.
the
and
ones
then they
that do
come.
the testing,
You
they're,
know, so then they
they're
have to
both new.
go through the education course.
Sure.
and
Yeah.
They have to get paid, you know, during
Yeah.
that time, but
yep.
it'd be
Okay.
nice if there was some stability in the workforce that came back every year. There isn't.
All right. If there's nothing else, a motion would be in order to adjourn at 7:41.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.